NBA Straya, how are you going? Hang on, you're right, you should be. Why is that, Jim? Oh, it's Tuesday. Yeah, I got nothing. Like, Tuesdays just suck. Like, what are we doing? I can barely walk. Like, everything hurts. It's just a bad day all around. So, I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios for a Tuesday, March 25 edition of NBA Straya. Anthony Davis is back. Chicago are awesome. It's all going on. We actually got a really, really fun Suns game as well. I think the Suns are back. We'll fly through all of that in the game wraps. We got That's Not an iPhone, Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better than Lonzo Ball. No nahs or anything today. We'll just go straight in the Australian Player Watch, an Andrew Gay's Great MAMBA Award, and then a pick and preview for tomorrow's games. It's a Screw It Tuesday show. That's what we're doing here on NBA Straya on Tuesdays and Thursdays, trying to punch these ones out, get in and out, give you what you need, get out of your hair, and on we go. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1232. 1232 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek.
This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the Kevin Durant attack if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. The DeMarcus Sabonis attack if you're the Celtics. More specifically, Jason Tatum's foot. Anyway, that's basically where we start with today's Daily Whip Round. Is it a whip round as a gym? Yes, it is. Anthony Davis is back. How good was that? So he's missed basically what? He played his first game for the Mavericks after being traded. Oh, that's right. For Luka Doncic. Played his first game back, February 8th. Left that game with an adductor strain. Came back. It was solid against the Nets. Got a big win, I guess, for the Mavericks. They just need every win they can get, right? So happy days there. I think it's just kind of neat that he came back. Because, I talked about it the other day. It's like, how are you going to keep building this team because your GM's a moron who traded a generational 25-year-old talent to the Lakers for nothing, really. One first-rounder, a young-ish player in Max Christie, awesome, and a banged-up 32-year-old Anthony Davis. Well, you probably tank out of the 10 spot in the playoff race, so you stay outside of that, give yourselves a bit of a crack at the lottery and actually take someone decent. That's just fingers crossed kind of gear. Anthony Davis was like, nah, screw it, we're going to have a crack. No one's entirely sure why, but sure. You got to at least appreciate his fight. Otherwise, there's not a giant amount of news today. Very little was going on. Just a quiet Tuesday in the league, really. Apart from the fact that Jason Tatum left his game against the Kings today with an ankle sprain after falling on DeMarcus Sabonis on a closeout, which is a bit of a tough one. Looked pretty bad. He was in a lot of pain. And Tatum's one of those guys, you don't see him get injured that often. He's like an absolute trooper and isn't much of a flopper. Isn't the one out there sort of writhing around, with like a skerrick of actual contact. He looked like he went down like a sack of shit, basically, and it looked like it hurt. So fingers crossed he's all right, because that sucks. And Celtics fans will be like, oh, come on, man. What the hell? Anyway, and the other little bit of news was that we got, I love Players of the Week. It's one of the great awards, isn't it? Who was good this week? And you're like, oh, these guys. You're like, all right, good. We got Kevin Durant, averaged a lazy 27.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, 6.3 assists a game. And he won all these games. Not bad. And then, for back-to-back Players of the Week of the East, Kobe White. He averaged a lazy 30.3 points, 4 assists, and he's the second ever Chicago Bull to get back-to-back Player of the Week. The other one, you might have heard of him. He's Michael Jordan, so it's pretty good. He's also the first one to go back-to-back in the East since Joel Embiid did it like 2 years ago. So Not bad. Good size. Well done, Kobe White. I love that. He's got great hair and he's got a great game, and I love this Bulls team. We'll talk about them in a second. Right. Well, I guess with that done, should we get into it? Game wraps, really briefly from today. Game wraps. We had some randomly awesome games today. I had a lot of fun watching all these, apart from the simple fact is, oh, here comes Jim's whinge. There should be a segment. Jim's whinge of the day. Oh, are you sad, Jim? You having a bit of a sook? Yes. No, my left Achilles or heel or something has just gone pa-doing. Haven't like done my Achilles or anything. It just, everything hurts. So I'll have to go to the doctor, shan't I? Anyway, so your mate Jim's under a lot of, I don't know, nice cloud of painkillers and anti-inflammatories right now. So good times. The price you pay for being an awesome pub cricketer. And when I say awesome, I'm horrible. But anyway, I had a couple of stumpings. Made some runs. The Pacers absolutely kicked the crap out of the Wolves. This game was crazy. 119-103. Tyrese Halliburton, absolutely fantastic again. 24-11. 16-16 for Rudy Gobert. This stuff with Tower. But the Pacers just put them to the sword in the third. Like, they were already up at the half. Like 6 points. And then just whomped them in the third quarter. Ant-Man could not hit a shot. And it sort of bucked a bit of a trend with the Wolves. It's like, oh, well, as long as Naz Reid plays well, we're going to win. Ant-Man was so bad that Naz Reid had 20 and just they had no chance. Julius Randle didn't do much. Wolves, what a disappointment. Yeesh. Good job by the Pacers there. 42-29, feeling pretty good about themselves. The Wolves, and this is the thing, right? Like, you can't lose games like this. You can't just, like, no show. Because they are now right back down in 8 in the West. 8 out of nowhere. The Clippers have snuck ahead of them on percentage by quite literally 0.001%. So tough gear there. But the Warriors are sitting pretty with the Lakers losing today as well, which we'll get to in a second. Good job. Indy feeling good as well. They're up into 4 with the Bucks copping a loss. They're actually 2 games clear of the Bucks, just FYI in that 4-5 spot. So big day for both teams. The Lakers!
The Lakers stink!
They still do. Isn't it fun? The Magic beat the Lakers 118-106, stomped them in the end. And this is why I picked the Magic on yesterday's show. It's like, well, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, hello, are really good. And if your perimeter defense is not actually that up to snuff, they could probably do a bit of damage to this Lakers team and keep them close. They did more than that. They fucked them up. Outscored them 34-18 in this third quarter and just ran over the top of them despite Luka having 32-7-7. Franz Wagner had the 32-9. Hit a massive 3 late. Paolo was fantastic. And now the Lakers have lost 3 on the trot. And this is important as well, isn't it? Because that sort of slots them into 43-28. They're back down into the 4 spot. 2 wins behind the Nuggets. And equal with the Grizzlies in the West in the 4-5. And only 2 games ahead of the Warriors, who are just like, oh, hello. What's all this then? Because they're a British Bobby, apparently. Hello. What's all this then? Says Steph Curry from Pontypandy. Anyway. And the Magic, look, they just need to keep winning these games because they are now back up into they're in the 8 spot. Still clear of the rampant BT Dubs, Chicago Bulls, and putting a little bit of heat on the Hawks ahead of them as well. So good job by Orlando. Paolo and Franz were fantastic. The Raptors and the Wizards, it's a tank. We had 2 tank games as well. We had this game, the Raptors and the Wizards. Raptors win at 112-104. Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl at 21-11. Whatever. Like, the Wizards like, we don't want to win this. And the Raptors stupidly won it. And the Pelicans ran over the top of the Sixers eventually, 112-99, despite not having CJ McCollum or Zion Williamson, which is what I said on yesterday's show. They'll probably play and they'll probably win. They didn't even have him, and they still won anyway, because that's how bad the Sixers were, who didn't even play Q Grimes. They're like, we don't want to even give ourselves even a hint of a chance in this game. So we're going to start Chuma Okeke, Yabu, Justin Edwards, Jared Butler, and Ricky Council. Block. What a horrible lineup that is. Like, at least the Pelicans had Olynyk, Yves Missy, Jose Alvarado, Jordan Hawkins, and Keon Brooks. But yeesh. Yeah. Good luck to you if you want to watch that game. Then we had the Mavs. Anthony Davis comes back. They win that one 120-101 in Brooklyn. I predicted this one pretty handily yesterday as well. Spencer Dinwiddie was really good against one of his old teams. He had 16 and 12. Anthony Davis finishes with the 12 and 6 and 3 and shot 6 of 9. Nice. From the floor in 27 minutes in his return. PJ Washington hurt his ankle, which looked really, really bad. And that's just like horrible news. Like the Mavs are just cursed, you know? So it sort of sucks. But anyway, Nets are bad, whatever. That's a great loss for them though. With the Sixers also losing, the Nets had to lose. So that's just good tanking. But with the Mavs, that kept them equal with the Suns, who also then obviously went on to win, which I'll get to in 1 second. But they're still in the 11th spot in the head-to-head matchup. Tough one for them. Then we had a couple of crackers. We had the Bulls-Nuggets game, 129-119. My beloved Chicago Bulls. Jim, all you've done is shit on them for the year. Yeah, and now they got rid of like fucking Zachy Cakes, Adam Levine, and just opened the door and went, Josh Giddey, you're awesome. We'll put Kobe at the shooting guard, and we'll play Booz Ellis heaps, and off we go. They're really fun. Like, Giddey is carving it up. He had another awesome game today, 26, 9 and 7 or whatever it was. We'll talk about him in the Australian Player Watch. Incredible game, 26, 7 and 9. Kobe White, 37 and 4. He's going to pop up again in a second. And the Nugs had Jamal Murray at 28. Yeah, 24 for Peyton Watson, but no Jokic. MPJ threatened early and then sort of fell off. 17 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan still blew my mind, but it was an awesome win by the Bulls. Dalen Terry was really handy off the bench. He hit 4 threes. It's a good win for them. Keeps them in the 9th spot in the East. And the Nugs, as mentioned, like they're sort of right there with the Lakers in the 3-4 spot, but 2 games up on the Lakers in the win column. Celtics ran over the top of the Kings late with a big second half, 113-95. The Souvlaki King came back to have 16 and 17. Tatum had 25, 7 and 8 before he left with his bung ankle, and Derek White carried them the rest of the way. He was really good down the stretch. Ends up with 12 points. Jaylen Brown only had the 9. But Peyton Pritchard, the White Mamba himself, absolutely crushed it. The Kings at 35 and 36, sort of almost, they're only a half, with that loss, they're now a half game up on the Suns. The Suns, there's a little, we'll talk about them in a second, there's a bit of hope. Usually it's the hope that kills you, but when you're going up against the Mavs and the Kings, I don't know if it will kill them. I think they'll be okay. Good win by the Celtics, a professional win. That's 3 straight losses for the Kings as well. Celtics feeling fine. They're in the 2 spot. And then finally, Bucks Suns, a replay of the 2021 NBA Finals, of course, as we all remember. Awesome. Like, there's so few players left from those teams on these teams currently that it's just mind-boggling. And you've in fact got the coach for the Bucks who won the title over those Suns, now coaching the Suns for now. But a great win for the Suns, 108-106. We had a bit of hacker Giannis, which is pretty fun. Bud's just throwing a bit of a wrench in there, which is pretty fun. But KD, God, he loves just trying to beat the Bucks, doesn't he? He had 38, 8, and 3 blocks. Giannis had 31 and 10. This game went down to the wire. Devin Booker hits the game winner at the end. It was absolutely gnarly. Huge win for the Suns, as I mentioned. I think that's, 4 straight now for them. Maybe 5, I want to say. 4. Yeah, 4 of their last 5, 5 of the last 6. But that keeps them in the actual play-in race, which is good. The Bucks, that's a tough one because, as mentioned, like the Pacers just kind of keep on just doing stuff, and the Bucks are now in the 5 spot, only a half game up on the Pistons in the 6. So Milwaukee, better pull your bloody finger out. Let's do an NBA Straya performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Can only be 2 men today. Kobe White. He was absolutely unreal for your beloved Chicago Bulls. Like, yes, Denver undermanned. Do not care. Kobe White was absolutely unreal. 11 of 22 from the floor, 5 of 10 from 3, 37 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and he's offsided. Josh Giddey. Giddy up. 26, 7, and 9. Love that. What a combo. And then the other one has got to be Kevin Durant. Absolutely incredible game for the Suns. Loved it. Especially going up against Giannis, who had 31, 10, and 5. Awesome. But KD, just the 3 that he hit late, just to give them the chance again after they kept cooking it. And like that's the thing about Phoenix. They will just shit the bed as soon as look at you. They're like, oh, we've got a chance to lose this game. Check it out. And you're like, oh, God, these guys are horrible. But KD just went, all right, fuck it. I'll win the game. Ends up 11 to 21 from the floor, 7 to 9 from 3. hits a huge three in that last minute that basically gave them a sniff and let Devin Booker hit the game winner. He gets the honorable mention because he's like, oh yeah, that's not a knife. That's a fucking game-winning Kobe. It was such a Kobe mid-range jumper as well. Appreciate that for him. But 38, 8 and 5 with 3 blocks for KD, 7 and 9 from downtown. That is a bloody knife. It really is. It was awesome. Spud of the night, though.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
We had a bunch of the youngins with Spuds, which is always a bit tough. Orlando Robinson, 1 of 7. Ricky Council, 2 of 11. Jrue Holiday, though, threw into 2-11. You've got 3 of 12 for Grand Theft Jose Alvarado. 4 of 14 for Jordan Hawkins. But the big one for me was, as I mentioned at the top, 7 of 19 from the floor for 17 points for Ant-Man. Anthony Edwards. 1 of 11 from 3. Yeesh. That's horrible. There's no other way to put it.
This is horrible. There's no other way to put it.
He was so bad. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I'm just like my parents. Anyway, who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no
mates.
mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Do you ever think Doc Rivers should just shut the fuck up? Just every so often you go, Doc, just dig up, stupid. What are you doing? He's like, I don't get enough credit. You know how I keep blowing those 3-1 leads in the playoffs? Fucking hell, man. You can't blow a 3-1 lead unless you've won 3 games already. It's like, well, yeah, but Doc, we're not shitting on you for winning those 3 games. We're shitting on you because you can never win the one that actually fucking matters. The 4th win. like no one tells a real story, and I'm fine with that. It's unfair in some ways. I don't get enough credit for getting the 3 wins. I get credit for losing. Yes, because you're the fucking coach. And you're not coaching them to win the fucking series. He's like, we were never favourites in any of those apart from the ones where we were. It's like, Doc. What? Chris was injured in 2015. It's always fucking excuses with that dude, isn't it? Always. Poor one out for the poor Bucks fans who have now got Doc Rivers as their coach. I'm just saying. Just saying. Panting of the night. The pantsing of the night. Had a couple of good ones today. What was it? It was Johnny Isaac. Absolutely sent a Luka shot. Just the sound that it made was absolutely awesome. It sounded like a fucking volleyball or like a dodgeball, like one of those sort of rubberized inflatable ones, like a kaboing. And like he just fucking sent it back out past half court. It was awesome. And the Lakers got a shot clock violation. It was so good. It's like when it makes that sound and he's fucking sent it that far, you better believe that's a pantsing. The other one was the Heat. We're like, oh yeah, we'll give Jimmy Butler a video tribute when he comes back with the Warriors. He all-star and, it was very good. Took us to a couple of finals. And Jimmy Butler was like, oh yeah, it makes no difference if they give me one or not. Oh, shit. Combined with the one that we talked about yesterday, I was like, man, it's just another fucking game. Like, whatever. We did some fun shit. It was kind of cool. Didn't mean nothing, though. Didn't win anything. It's like, yeah, lots of mates there in Miami there. But anyway, that's a bit of a pantsing for the Heat. Like, the Miami Heat should now be like, oh, if you feel that way, Jimmy, fuck you. No video tribute. Have some stones. If Pat Riley was still alive, he'd tell him to go get fucked. Just saying. All right, finally, better than Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. This has got to go. The Peyton Pritchard train just rolls on. He was absolutely outstanding today against the Sacramento Kings. Played 35 minutes at 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 13 from downtown, 8 of 18 shooting. It was a plus 18 in a game they won by 18. I'm just saying. It's pretty bloody good. Peyton Pritchard, better than Bronny James. All right, let's take a quick break, get into the Australian Player Watch and get on moving right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Cadet.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening
Straya.
to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, time for the Australian Player Watch. That's right, no nails and Outback Takeouts and stuff on a Tuesday. Just going to punch through today's show. Got to go look after the squid. Josh Giddey, what a game. 26 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 2 of 3 from downtown, 8 of 10 at the free throw line, which is a really, really interesting point. He's now shooting 80%, over 80% basically, from the free throw line for the month of March, after shooting 83% for the month of February and 83% for the month of January, 76% in December, 78% in November. I'm just saying, he's hitting his free throws. That shot's coming along pretty bloody nicely. That is awesome. But 26, 7, and 9 with a block, shot 8 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 3 from downtown, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Josh Giddey is averaging almost a triple-double for the entire month of March. Did you realize that? Over 21.5 points a game, 9.8 rebounds, 9.3 assists. Absolutely carving it up the mob top Mamba. And we talked on yesterday's show about what sort of contract would you be starting at if you're the Bulls or another team, who needs a bloody point guard who can average a triple-double for a month at awesome shooting splits, 52.3% from the floor, 36.4% from 3, 80.6% from the free throw line for an entire month of NBA basketball. Just saying, what's your starting number? 35 mil? 5 years? Let's go. 5 years, 35 mil a year. Let's go, the mop top Mamba. He's been fantastic, and it's awesome to see. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And the Bulls are wicked fun to watch. I'm just saying. It's great. Is it a little bit of like, it's March? Who's really playing that hard? Are they dining out on a weaker schedule? Maybe. But at the same time, what is he meant to do? Not put up the fucking numbers? He's been great. Just saying. All right, outside of that, we got a couple of did not play coaches' decisions as Johnny Furphy and Jingle and Joe Ingles went up against each other in the Minnesota Indy game. Jingles copped a did not play. Johnny Furphy got out there for 2 minutes at the very end and put up zeros. Yeah, so we got a 2 trillion. And that was it for today. We had no other Aussies in action. It was just those three. Jack McVeigh did go off in the G League yesterday, which is always nice to see. Just absolutely torched it. What do you have, 33 points? It was just absolutely psychotic. Went 11 of 20 from the floor, 8 of 16 from downtown. Bloody good, I'll tell you what. So, good to see him crushing it. Righto. Because I don't think we had anyone else. Just checking. Nah. All good. Righto. Let's do a quick Andrew Gaze Gray Mumber Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence.
Andrew Gaze Gray Mumber.
Outstanding achievement in
Bum, 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 bum. Excellence. Let's do it. This is... So... Russell Westbrook. Today, the Denver Nuggets played against the Bulls, Josh Giddey and co. Rusty, there's another point guard and get you a triple-double. He had 14, 5, and 10 today. Hit a 3 from basically the logo that put him into the record books as the 20th highest scoring player to play in the NBA all time. 20th all time is Russell Westbrook. This comes after James Harden passed Moses Malone the other day to go from 12th to 11th on the all-time scoring leaderboard. 27,416 points. He's 870-odd behind Carmelo for 10th. The Andrew Gaze Gray Mumber Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence goes to both of them, of course, but also Kevin Durant. And how about OKC? Sam Presti drafting 3 of the top 20 scorers of all fucking time. and having them on the same team until he fucked it and sent Harden to the Houston Rockets because they were fucking cheap. That is incredible. That is just some insane drafting. 3 of the top 20 scorers of all time. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, all now top 20. All-time scorers. Absolutely incredible. Well done, OKC. Of course, none of them now on your team, but still. Absolutely remarkable gear. That is some excellence. I'll tell you that. All right. Paddy Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. We actually got a Paddy tweet because he actually retweeted out the awesome Deli. So the NBL, a moment that will live forever. An incredible sporting gesture from Matthew Dellavedova handing his Championship Series MVP to Will Hickey. Paddy retweeted that saying, Davo, this really belongs to you. Deli being Deli. Love heart emoji. Congrats to the Hawks with their first trophy in 24 years. Davo, you're an inspiration to all Aussies and your determination to overcome many adversities is inspiring. Everyone at IBA is incredibly proud of you and Coach Kalu. That is awesome. Paddy Mills giving a bit of support and a big shout out to both Deli and our man Davo Hickey. That rocks. Good on you, Paddy. All right, let's do some game previews for tomorrow. Game previews. Thanks, inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, well, if my foot wasn't fucking killing me, that'd be great. Oh, anyway. Remember, you can follow all our daily NBA picks over at Dabble. Sign up using the link in the show description or in the Facey IG stories or on the underneath the tweet that we put out each morning with the usual drop-off vibes. I was limping along through the mean streets of Brunswick this morning. Jesus. I'm like, oh, I need to go get a coffee. I need to do a video. I can't really walk. This is going to take a while. And it did. But we got there. So click on the link in the show description, etc. Sign up if that's your thing. You can follow all of the picks there. Use the code NBA Straya. Remember to tell them we sent you. Got to keep this pirate ship afloat. We've got our same game multis. We just missed out on the awesome Giddey Goes God mode SGM today. So if it's your thing, go check it out. Tell them NBA Straya sent you. Code NBA Straya, all one word, over at Dabble. Chuck us a follow and just remember, click on the link in the thing below. Right. We actually smashed, I think, today. What we had 8 games. I think we were 5 of 8. Pretty good. Feeling pretty good. And Phoenix were very, very, very close. So anyway, tomorrow we've got Orlando-Charlotte, which is a fascinating one, right? Because Charlotte, look, they stink. We get it. They're tanking. We get it. Orlando, however, on the road, on a back-to-back. And Charlotte played spoiler, a week ago against the Knicks. They got their heads kicked in by the Thunder. They got smoked by the Heat. I am tempted to go the Hornets. It's a 4.5 point line, but you know that Orlando actually need to get all these wins. I think Orlando just sneak out the win. And I think there's probably just enough talent on that team to get by Charlotte by more than 5. So I'm going to go Orlando minus 4.5. It's a little bit janky, but I think they can do it. The same thing sort of goes for San Antonio at Detroit. Now, the Spurs, there's another team that are like, oh, yeah, we don't have any of our dudes usually playing. But they are on a 3-game winning streak. They've beaten the Raptors. They've beaten the Sixers. They beat the Knicks last week. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. I feel like they can keep this one close. Detroit tend to win these games, but an 8.5 point line is just a little bit too much for me for Detroit. I'm going to say San Antonio plus 8.5 in Detroit, and Detroit still get the win. Golden State, Miami. The Jimmy Butler Bowl. How good is this one? You know that Miami is going to try their absolute hardest to make Jimmy Butler just eat a bit of shit. I'm going to go the Heat plus 5.5. Jimmy's going to be all fired up. The Heat will be too, though. If there's no Steph, I just kind of like the Heat. Even if Steph goes, I feel like a little bit of an impinged, sore-backed Steph is probably not ideal. So I'll go the Heat plus 5.5 at home. They have looked so janky the last 2-3 weeks. But even if they lose, I think they keep this one close. Let's go the Heat plus 5.5. Dallas at the Knicks. The Knicks nice and rested. Dallas having played against Brooklyn today. Anthony Davis, unlikely, I dare say, to play in a back-to-back game. So I think the Knicks can win that one pretty handily. 8.5 point favorites, the Knicks. Let's go with them. Despite no Jalen Brunson, they should be okay against the Dallas game. It's a bit trickier than you'd usually think, but I think they'll be okay. Atlanta go to Houston. Really interesting matchup. Dyson Daniels, the only one who plays any defense on that Atlanta team, up against the defensive maestros of Houston. Atlanta, though, I don't know, 8.5-point line again. It feels a little bit too much for Houston, but Houston are had been riding a pretty hefty win streak until they lost to the Nuggets the other day. But they had only just sort of snuck over the line against the Heat and against the Magic and against the Sixers and against the Bulls and didn't sort of cover any of those games. So I might go Atlanta plus 8.5, where Houston still get the win, but it's a close one. Yeah. It's just a bit weird how they sort of just, all these games are a little bit too close. Memphis go to Utah. Even without Ja, Utah are just kind of like, oh, we're not very good. And at home, 10.5 points as underdogs at home is a bit on the nose. But at the same time, they got absolutely smashed by 29 by Cleveland, 22 by the Celtics. They beat the Wizards at home by 16. They lost to the Bulls by 14. They lost to the Wolves by 26. They lost to the Raptors by 8. Lost to these same Grizzlies by 7 in Memphis. Can they put up a bit of a fight? Is 10.5 too much? It might be against a Memphis team that doesn't have Ja. We'll give Utah a little bit of credit, and they'll keep that one vaguely manageable at home. If you think about who the Grizzlies have been playing, well, if you actually think about who the Jazz have been playing, Filipowski, Cody Williams, Kessler, Sexton, Collier, Jordan Jeremy Clarkson, versus who Memphis have been rolling out there, which is what? Desmond Bane! They got smoked by 20 by the Clippers the other day. Triple J, Jalen Wells, Santi Aldama. Jalen Wells also went down, I think, with an injury, didn't he? Interesting. Tough one. Ja Morant goes out. Nah, I'm going to have to go the Jazz, plus 10.5 at home, I think. Interesting game. Then we have Cleveland at Portland. Portland are 6.5-point underdogs at home. Can they do that? Against the Cavs, I just don't know if they will. The Cavs snapped their losing streak the other day. I think they look to reassert themselves and put some hurt on somebody, and it might be Portland. Let's go the Cavs. And then OKC go to Sacramento. They're 9.5-point favorites in Sacktown. I think the Thunder run right over the top of this Kings team. Especially with the, Suva on a back-to-back. Yeah, a bit of a rough one. Let's go the Thunder minus 9.5. Who was it who got hurt? Was it Jalen Clark or Jalen Wells? I don't think it was Jalen Wells. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's Jalen Clark. What am I talking about? No, it's Brandon Clark on Memphis who got hurt. Jeez, I'm talking about my ass. How many bloody painkillers have you had today, Jim? Yeah, it's a fair few. He's bloody flying. But that's it. There you go. That's all the picks for tomorrow. So you can go follow those all over at Dabble, of course. Bang in that code NBA Straya. Click through on the show link, or in the show description, and follow along there. It'd be much appreciated if you want to do that. If you don't, it's not my bad. Either way, we'll be back on deck tomorrow for a big full show. Midweek Madness show. We'll do a big power rankings and standings check-in as well. As well as all your yeah-nahs, sending your yeah-nahs, etc. via the socials. Go check us out on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, of course. Jump in the comments on the old YouTube. Just anything. Just go, oi, Jib, what are you doing? Yeah, good times. Appreciate it. Get around NFL Australia as well with myself and Gaz. Chuck us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using the Android phone. It does help out. So rate, review, star, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't ask for much. Just do that. And if you are, of that persuasion, go check out Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya and follow along using the link in the show description or in the socials. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So do House Hats, Joshua Delarantis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshack Kalami, Iowa section. Green, and Dozers there behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them wherever you listen to your tunes, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. Remember, NBA Straya, Sports Australian Bands. And we're going to close out today's show with a very quick Deli review, as I promised. And we'll catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And, God, my foot hurts. Let us out! oi, oi, how the fuck are you? Is it your old mate Deli over here just swinging by going fucking bloody hell? I usually sling in here to do a bit of a bloody pop culture review and shit, and sort of found myself in the middle of a bit of fucking maelstrom this week, eh? Bit of bullshit, fucking United, we lose again. I don't know why I got voted finals MVP. I didn't fucking ask for it. I gave the trophy to my good mate Davo. Just trying to do the right thing, just trying to be a good bloke, It's like what I used to do back in Maryborough High School and shit as well, You win, like, player of the match or whatever, you're like, nah, just because of my sick ruck roving skills. That didn't win us the game. It was my good mate Plugger kicking fucking 8 goals up in the full forward line. Give him the fucking trophy. What are you doing, dickheads? So the same thing goes for Davo. Great game. Great series by him. Great series by the boys. We'll get him next time, eh? So, yeah, a bit disappointed. We've been on the tins ever since. So I'm just a bit fucking flat. A little bit screwed, but, she'll be right. But I've been watching that White Lotus. Have you been watching White Lotus? It is fucking sick as, man. Like, the missus got me onto it. As I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, I don't remember what the fuck happened in the other ones. It was like murders, mysteries and shit. And like this one's the same thing, but it's in Thailand. And I'm like, fucking, how good's Koh Samui, bro? It's like when you go to fucking Bali as well, same sort of shit. You're like, fucking, yeah, how good are the cultures? What do? You get bintangs in fucking Bali, and then you go to fucking, like, Thailand, you get some, like, chang beers. All the singers and shit. I fucking love it, man. Just running around wearing fucking thongs and a singy. It's awesome. Anyway, so the White Lotus, you just get sucked into a good murder mystery. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's going pretty slow. And there's, like, just lots of fun shit going on. They're all having parties and stuff. And, yeah, I'm pretty hooked. So, look, it probably gets, like, 22 out of 10 Deli ones for me. Fucking love it. Anyway, congrats to the Hawks. United, we'll get them next time. Fucking a bit shit, but what do? You get them on big jobs, don't you? So, look, bye. All right, until next time, look after yourselves. Later, fuckos. Deli out.